Hey everyone, welcome back to Authentic Worth Publishing. I do hope you're well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about chapter 6 on my new book, The Power of a Forward-Thinking Mindset, and it's called Journeying with the Enemy. Who is the enemy? It's the thoughts that we cultivate that are negative. It's the words that we say to ourselves that we're not good enough. Those are the things that causes us to shrink back. And we know that it is important to move ahead with our lives, not to be consumed or controlled by the way we feel, but to fully understand the purpose and the reason as to why at times in life we have to go through the enemy journeying with us. No one wants to be around their enemies. Everybody wants to be around people that love them, that care for them. But do you know what? The higher you go, the more enemies you attract. How do you handle that? How do you handle the pressure of people trying to pull you down when you are trying and striving to aim higher? Let's take it a bit further as we read page 120 of chapter 6. There is power in words. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 says it very clearly. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Have you mentioned any of these following statements before, especially in times of vulnerability? 1. I haven't prepared well for my exam and will probably end up resitting it. 2. The parcel I ordered won't come on time and I have to pick it up tomorrow morning. 3. I literally don't have any money, so I can't go out with you. Sorry. And 4. I feel nervous and I can't seem to confront this situation. I'll bury it by sleeping. It's so easy to speak negatively over your life when you are in a vulnerable state. And it's not wrong to accept the way you feel, but it's wrong to stay there. It says at times, if we are not careful with our words, it eventually produces negative results. The reason why I entitled this chapter Journey with the Enemy is that each day our thoughts speak louder than our words, and the enemy always wants to penetrate our minds when we are in vulnerable situations. It's easy for the enemy to add to your utterance of negativity. It takes strength to surrender everything to God without holding back, setting yourself free from toxic words. I know the pain you feel when everything seems out of place, and comforting words that make you feel good for a while, but eventually it comes back in full force, hitting you flat on your face. There's no one on earth that isn't going through a battle. It could be an ill health battle. It could be a financial battle. It could be a relational battle, academic battle. But what ultimately matters is how you carry yourself in that battle. When one battle ends, another one appears. You have to be consistent in fighting your enemies. That's why it's a journey with the enemy. It never stops. This life that we live in is going to expose us to many vulnerabilities, to many enemies that is trying to muzzle your mouth. But I'm here to remind you the power of a forward-thinking mindset teaches you to keep pushing through, keep going forwards, because there's nothing behind you. You could be the kindest person and still be attacked. You could be the rudest person and still be attacked. And people think that their rudeness is going to take them far. You are journeying with the enemy and you are deceiving yourself. How important it is to remember every day that as you are journeying with this enemy, he don't stop. Proverbs 18:21, speak life. Let positive words reign in your heart, no matter what you're going through. Don't allow how you feel for a temporary moment determine your life. Everything that has been stolen from you, I strongly guarantee you are going to get it back with interest. Do not ever give up the fight. When they fight harder, you push harder. How do you fight back harder? In prayer, on your knees. Page 121 says, even though your thoughts can't speak, they have ears that listen to what comes out of your mouth. So what you think about in your mind is so important that before you even speak it out, you need to be very assured that you are intentional with what you say. No matter how difficult each day brings, encourage yourself in using the right words in every season. When bad seasons come, how do you handle your tongue? The enemy you face on a daily basis will not stop attacking. So why should you give up? Your mindset is extremely powerful, and how you utilize it gives you power over the enemy. How you utilize your mind during times of calamity gives you the ability to overcome the enemy. Anyone can speak well when plans are going accordingly, but how do you cope with sudden loss, missing a mortgage payment, or losing your phone on the train? Your response matters, and this impacts how you think ahead. The responses to what you go through, they matter, and it does determine your maturity levels on how you can handle your enemies. There are times where you can be very overwhelmed and you scream, you shout, you break things. And I fully understand that. But there's also a sweet ingredient called self-control. When the enemy attacks you, the enemy wants to get you to retaliate back. But when you're calm, and you know who you are, and you know that what the enemy has stolen from you, you are going to get it back, there's a peace and calmness that God gives you to know that he's fighting on your behalf. And the enemies that you will see today, you will never see them again. That's why it's so important that the way you respond to your enemies has a lot to do with you and your character. Remember, what you focus on, you magnify. This is not the season to be low. This is not the season to cultivate toxic thoughts and think your life is over because of a temporary situation. Do you know things that have been taken from you, you always get back better? If you don't believe it, then you will stay where you are. And I'm telling you, if this season that we are in has not taught you to push through, then I don't know what other season will. Because the power of a forward-thinking mindset is not a joke. This book is really breaking generational mental blocks. Emotional dysfunctionality. So many people are so dysfunctional because they cannot see their way clear. They're pressured, they're worried, they're anxious. But this book is here to remind you that you have to think ahead. If you don't think ahead, who else will for you? If you don't journey with your enemies and triumph, who will triumph for you? Who is going to help you to get to the next level if you are staying stagnant? If you are allowing defeat to control you? You have to rise up and fight your enemies. No one is going to fight your enemies for you the way you will do. So get this book for your benefit. Get it, digest it, study it, stare at it. Let this book change you from within so that people will see how your life has changed outwardly. Don't stop. And ultimately, no matter what you go through, do not look back. When something has gone, let it be, move on. Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on your struggles. Don't dwell on your anxiety. Move ahead. You're giving too much power to the enemy when you keep focusing on him. I know we are going to journey with the enemy. We are always journeying with it every single day. There's always going to be something that is going to attack or distract us, but you have the power to stop it by how you respond. Copies of The Power of a Forward-Thinking Mindset can be found on my website, www.authenticworth.com/books, and it will be signed. Our next topic is going to be personal private prayer in chapter 7. We will see you in the next video. Bye.